Hello everyone, Namaskaram. My name is Saran Kumar. This is in continuation to the session happened on bank audit using MS Excel on 8th April 2020. Because of the technical glitches, we could not provide you the quality material, quality video in the YouTube. So we are recording the same video of the session 2 on the bank audit using MS Excel. I once again thank our chairman DC Jain and our secretary Mr. Abhishek, my good friends, in this regard. In today's session, I'll be talking on four important things. One, we will look into the loan balance file and through Excel how we can do the analysis. Second thing, we can look into the ledger account analysis. If I get a ledger account of any of the customer, how I am going to do the analysis for the same. Third one, when we'll take one CC account and we'll try to see what are the formulas which are required to get the out of order related. And the last part of the today's session, I'll be talking on how we are going to put in the documentation side. Okay. So throughout this course, I'm going to use many Excel files and text files. Please observe. So this is what the loan balance file you'll get for any of the bank. For my illustration purpose, I have taken for X CBS. It's Bank 24 for the SBI. This is the same type of loan balance file you'll get in every bank, irrespective of the CBS. Maybe the columns may not be into the same sequence, but the content fields are almost same. Maybe one field, maybe you'll get here in fourth column, maybe the other field in the other CBS you may get as a eighth column. But generally, whatever the loan balance file, you'll get the same customer ID, then account number, account type, then a customer name, then what is the limit, what is the EMI, how many EMIs are due, and so on. So this is the text file. Since it is a unstructured data, what I need to do, I should select this entire data. The shortcut which I have used to select this entire data is Control A, Control C. Now let me go to the Excel file. Let me open this Excel. Let me do Control V. Since it's an unstructured data, what I'm going to do, I need to convert into the structured format. So to convert into the structured format, I'm going into the data, go to the text to column. We have illustrated the same on the first day topic on 8th April, how to do the text to column in case of delimited, in case of fixed width. So I'm going a little faster in this step because this step we already covered. In this case, it's a fixed width. So let me select the fixed width, go to the next. Now let me come down. Always keep the titles on top of this preview. Unfortunately, this preview we cannot get bigger than this. It will be only displayed 3 to 4 lines. So let me keep the cursor here. Here, let me tell you one tip. In the text files or whatever the files you handle in your bank audit, wherever a field which is a number, numbers always assigned to align towards the right side. If it is a text field, it is aligned towards the left side. So in this case, either you can cut the column here or here, both are same, no problem. Let me keep in between. Since it's a text account type of account type description, we are not sure till where it occupy. So let me take till here. Now let me cut the column for the customer numbers. Let me cut the column again for the customer name, since we are not sure how big is the customer name. So let me keep here, and this is what the limit, and this is what the interest rate, the very important column in the entire loan balance file. This is what the theoretical balance, and this is what the outstanding balance. In fact, this is what the outstanding balance figure we are going to refer every time in the LFR while commenting, because it's going to ask a couple of information: what is the account ID, what is the customer name, what is the outstanding balance, and so on. So this is what the irregularity amount, sanction date, EMI is due, EMI is paid, and EMI is overdue. What is the new IRAC condition and what is the old IRAC condition? What is the arrear condition here? If you observe, the very important column, especially in the banks 24 CBS, that is arrear condition. Then it is talking about the currency. Then it is talking about the account main branch. Then what is the EMI or installment amount, as the case may be, and what is the irregularity date, what is the unrealized interest, and finally there are three columns. Accrued interest is how much, stress is how much, and what is the SMA code. Friends, you must understand this SMA code is not as per IRAC. This SMA code is as per the CBS. Now let me click next. I don't want to do any formatting, so let me just click finish. Once you are done with that, let me select this and let me remove the rows till the heading. So I just selected from here. So shift space is the shortcut to select the entire row. Just select till here, delete. So that this is top. Okay, wherever two line items of the description is there, let me put sanction date, and this is EMIs due, and this is EMIs paid, and this is EMIs overdue, and this is new IRAC, and this is old IRAC. I'm just keeping the description of the column full. Area condition, and this is currency. This is not much useful. Remaining everything is fine. So to select from here the entire data, what I need to do, there is a shortcut Control Shift N. So now you go to the data tab and give the filter. Once I give the filter, let me go to the top. If I go to the top, I'll now clean up. I'll do the cleanup activity because this is not my structured data. Though it has divided into different columns, I should clean the data so that only whatever the relevant data that I'm going to keep it. So out of all these columns, this is what the column which talk about the account number. That means in an implied way, other than account number, whatever which I can find, which is a scrap, that means which is not a related data. So let me select everything except the numbers. From here, everything is an account number. So I have selected, if I came down, I came to the bottom. You can use a shortcut end so that you will come to the end of this. Then you can start checking all these boxes. Click OK. This is a junk data. So what I'll do, I'll select again from here, Control Shift and I'll select the visible cells. There are two ways you can select the visible cells. Right click, then go to use the shortcut F5, then special, then click visible cells only, or else Alt colon is the shortcut. Anything is fine. Control minus, because I want to delete these rows. Once I do control minus, it is immediately asking Sharon, do you want to delete entire row? Yes. Now remove the filter, just go and keep the cursor here, so that clear here, so that it removes every filter. Select the entire data. Now I'm going to do column auto fit. So let me select the headings properly. Friends, these all are the very important headings. Now I generally keep my customer number. So let me cut this column and you can paste here, so that customer number is the very important than account number. This for the analysis we are going to use. Why? Because I'm going to make a pivot table later while I'm doing a stratification. Then I'll get to know for one customer number how many accounts are there. That means for one customer how many facilities are there in the same branch. That is little red flag. Even in our samples we should make sure that we are taking those type of accounts more. Then you have the account type. Then you have customer name. Besides account type and customer name, let me have loan type. The meaning of this is account type. If you just copy and paste somewhere in the next sheet, paste here, remove the duplicates. This is what the button to remove the duplicates. Let me click OK. Once I do that, 95 different account types are there. That means these many different products are there in that branch. But looking into these many products will not have any meaning in our analysis, because because if you look into the housing loan, whether it's a housing loan sub staff or a housing loan this staff, though both looking different, but the NPA related and IRAC related or whatever the documents related, I have to look into the same. So this is the micro level and this is the macro level loan type. So what I'll be doing very quickly by using the filters, let me filter for gold. So what's the meaning of it? It's a gold loan. In a real time situation, you can divide whether it's a other than the agri gold loan or any other business gold loan, because the NPA related provisions will differ other than the agri gold loans and agri related gold loans. That is what a gold. Now when I search for, let me search for housing, something like that, then you'll find housing loans, home loans. This is very much relevant for the stratification. I'll not take much time. Let me put staff here. Now let me put the blanks here. Now what I'll do, I will just take here staff loans. Now that means CL, those are all we call. Now if I go here, if I put deposit something like that, yes, there are so many loans belongs to deposit. So I'll take the blanks out of this. So this entirely I'll fill with deposit loans. These all are very less risky. So while I do the bank audit, I'll make sure that not many samples out of this, because even you take all these samples, it will not take much time for our staff to look into the system and checking out whether for every deposit they have provided a lien or not. That means they are marked as a lien or not. So lien marking has to be done for these loans. For the documentation also, not a very heavy documentation for these deposit loans. It's more of the lighter documentation, because if he's having any fixed deposit related, he can get a loan. So we'll only look into the percentage, how much loan he got and how it is getting created and whether it is lien marked or not. So now I'll remove the filter. I'll just select the blanks out of this. Now let me look into the other thing. Wherever you will find MIZR, these all are the housing loans. Friends, in a real-time scenario, when you sit with the banker, I'm sure you can easily understand whether these loans nomenclature is same or not. Okay, because so many items are there. I'm just going away with a little fast. Now let us take the couple other loans. Now let me put the blanks here. Maybe some of the grouping I may go wrong because this is a different bank. So if some of the product types it is customized for the same bank, so unless I ask the branch manager, I may not even know whether it's a personal loan or term loan or any other loan. So by just looking into the product type, we cannot understand, so we are trying our level best. Now let me put vehicle, maybe vehicle loan, something like this. No, so maybe car. Yeah, I'll find many car loans. So this is vehicle loan, because the documentation for all these loans is almost same, whether it's a car loan or vehicle loan and everything. So car loans, then what other things are there? Now let me just go here, put blanks. Then now let me put business, something like business. Okay, this may be term loan. Now let me just select the blanks again. Now what I'll do, I'll just select for HL. This is also housing loan. Actually, housing loans are many in this branch. By looking into this, we can easily understand. So this is also home loans. Now let me remove the filter. Now let me select this. Now I'll just go again, SPL housing loan, something like this. So this is 5 lakhs to 20 lakh. So home loans. Now HTL floating, something this also looks like housing loan. Maybe I may go wrong with one or two, because uh, this is not a live data, so you can sit with the branch manager. Probably they can guide better. Just for the example sake, I'm just trying to take all this. Now let me search for, is there any education loan, because education is let me give a nomenclature for this as edu loans. And let me keep the blanks again. Finally, I'll just close it. Remaining everything will keep something. HTL floating. Oh, HTL floating. This all looks like a home loans only. SME. Let's search for something like business loans. Is there anything SME? So these all uh, I kept as a housing loan, maybe, or else let me keep all these. This is SBI house. This is also top up loan. SME migration. We are not sure, but for the time being, let me put a term loan. This one. Let me copy this, and this is also term loan. And friends, if you observe, self help as self. So these all are SHG, and let us see how many are pending. Remaining these, where our home is there. The home loans are more in this branch. Wherever I have taken this data, maybe in that branch, so many home loans are there. Now let's go to the end. Now let me select this part for the time being. Okay, leave it. Remaining all we'll put for the time being as okay. HL. Uh, we'll just put other loans for the time being. Okay, I know HSG many are housing loans still happy HL. Okay, something like happy wherever we are 100% sure. Let's try to map. If not, we'll make it other loans to make it faster. So let me go to the and let me HSG is again something relates to house loans, home loans. See, almost done. This branch is having a heavy housing loans. Now this is DL loans. Okay, demand loans are DL loans. You can put it and almost done. We are almost done with all the loans. Now even SBI Suraksha is also Suraksha is I think okay. Let me put this maybe belongs to the home loan again. Now let me filter everything remaining. Let me keep other loans. Okay, this is also housing loan, but okay, just for the time constraint. So let me put home loans or else other loans. Done, right? So everything got filled. Now there is no blank in this. If you observe, no blanks. What is the use of this column? Now, well, I just filled this column. Let me put in the yellow color. For the new columns, I am just indicating with the yellow color. Now, what is the meaning of this? This is one of the very important column again. The meaning of the theoretical balance, as we all know, how much he should have, how much is the pending, okay, as per the system. Okay, let's say for example, 36 installments he has to pay by 31st March 2020, 24 installments are over. So as per the system, another 12 installments are pending. So theoretical balance is something. So it shows the installments are pending. So outstanding must be always. So there's something a new column which I am filling. So let me keep it into yellow color. These all are indication, friends. Even after 10 years, if I go back and look into my files, I may if I maintain a standardization, then for me it's very easy to understand my files later. Now the meaning of this outstanding and this theoretical balance is my outstanding must be always lesser than the theoretical balance, because theoretical balance is something uh, as per the CBS how much we need to pay, and outstanding must be always lesser than that. Maybe last one, because for the NPA related it's more of last 3 months. Okay, we can look into the percentage wise, but just for the time being, now let me put whether it's outside or not. Irregularity which I calculate. So it's very simple. If cross check whether this is greater than or equal to this. If theoretical balance is more than the outstanding, that's good, zero. If not, then I should check it out. What is the difference between outstanding balance and theoretical balance? Now enter. This balance, whatever the column which I am preparing must equal to the irregularity calculation by the system. This is a check. So you just put this minus this, 100% this has to match. As this is the prepared column by me again, let me put into the yellow color, right? So this, if I select this entire column, this is zero if you observe. So that means it's calculated by the system and calculated manually by us, both are same. Validation controls are the most important in the bank audit. So now let's look into the sanction date. Friends, out of this, first thing what I do when I start working on this, I'll just put besides the account number, I'll just put it whether it's an NPA or not, or standard. You can simply put a VLOOKUP function from the file, the NPA, what you received from the branch manager. You just put a VLOOKUP function. If some of the accounts, whatever there in the NPA list, you put a VLOOKUP function. Wherever you will find the same account number here, that means those all are NPA. You just cut those files and paste here. Cut those files and put somewhere in the other sheet. because for those files, since they are already identified as an NPA, my job is not linking to the other documentation. I need to even look into the documentation, but I'm not saying that you should not look into the documentation. But my priority of the recognized NPA accounts is more of post NPA, how much the provision they calculated, and so on. So in my case, I can easily understand by looking into my irregularity date. Now let me just put the irregularity date. Something different. This data is actually belongs to 31st March 2018. Don't confuse with this data, because we cannot if you want to make data as on 31st March 2020, other fields may impact with respect to the amounts. So that's the reason I did not touch this. So it is this data is belongs to 31st March 2018. Please try to correlate with the current year related data. Since it is belongs to 31st March 2018, so last 3 months you can simply put a mark that irregularity date of Jan, Feb and March. Probably you can put a remarks column here. Okay, irregularity is there, but this irregularity is less than 90 days if you observe. So this I feel is the red flag. These are the accounts which we need to look more within 90 days of the within 90 days of irregularity. These accounts, out of these accounts, will take some of the samples more. Then we'll see, is it a habit for this particular customer every time making for 2 months or 3 months irregular and later paying everything from the different facilities, or is it just a one time thing? So unless I go into their account statement, I cannot identify those. So I'll put the remarks like this. Now if you look here, maybe I'm sure for 2013, 14, 15, and at least something irregularity may be continuing. Okay, if you go and check it out, these many accounts, 48 accounts out of this, even you cannot give an exception. You can even go to September, November and December also. Let me take zeros. Let me remove the zeros. So friends, except this, I've taken everything. Let me accept this, because why that irregularity did not come, we'll see. That means out of my 747 accounts, 57 accounts irregularity date is above 90. So this is probable NPA mostly. So probable, it's actually NPA, but unless we get into the sheet from the banker, we cannot confirm that this is an NPA. It's a probable NPA. Now, what you need to do, you have to make sure that whatever the probable NPA which we are identifying by looking into the loan file, and whatever the column which I am keeping here NPA, whether both are matching or not. If still, let's say some of the account, this account is not NPA as per the list provided by the person. If that is the case, I'll just go to into this account. I'll ask the branch manager, this irregularity since November. That means almost 5 months. So why you did not do the NPA? We can ask the question. He may give his own reason. We are the people who are going to look into the reason whether it is rational or not. Based on the rationality, we'll take a decision. So remarks is very important. And if you look into out of these all loans, maybe deposit loans, I'll immediately give this entire list of the loans to, okay, out of this, let me take blanks. I'll simply ask this entire thing to my staff. I'll allocate them. I'll ask them to check whether there is a lien or not. So these all are deposit loans. Not more of documentation, more of system checking is required. Okay, so I'm just trying to, out of the 700 accounts, I'm just trying to look into my loan balance file. I'm just trying to understand in which accounts I need to concentrate more. That's what my point of making this entire thing. Now, like that, we'll do the remarking. If you look into the stratification angle, I'll just select this entire data. Now I'll go into the insert. Pivot table plays very vital role. Let me click the pivot table and select the table arrange, new sheet. Let me click OK. Once you click OK, let me go up. This is the first thing which I do, customer number, and I'll just put the account number besides to customer number. So it's not sum because it will not have any meaning summing the account numbers. Let me go here, summarize by count. Wonderful. Now I'll just go to data. I'll just give Z2A, that means descending order. Now, out of these accounts, now let me just keep this aside. Out of these accounts, if you observe, these many customer cases, he's having more than one facility. Okay. Now let me just copy this data. Now let's go here, create a sheet in such a way, recon or else stratification one. Now let me paste this data. Okay. Now this is the customer ID and this is the account number. This customer is having 5 loans. Okay, many cases in these type of case where 5 or 4 are there, the staff loans maybe there more. Even just to know what type of accounts those all are, you just put double click here so that you can immediately understand what type of loan. As I told you already, more of the cases staff related loan because any of the bank they give a lot of facility for the staff members, maybe 0% are very nominal percentage. So majority of the cases, most of the staff avail those loans. This is also staff loans. This is also staff loans if you observe. Okay, this is not a staff loan. Oh, this is not a staff loan. He's a doctor. By looking into this, I can understand it's a term loan actually. Term loan. Okay, there's a term loan and he's having a vehicle loan and he's having a mortgage loan. So I think this doctor is very close to this branch, maybe very good customer. I don't know the name, just for the understanding purpose. Let me, just for the confidentiality purpose, I'll just remove these names, right? So let me delete this. Now let me go and delete this. Now I'll just double click this. Now let me go and refresh this. Once you refresh, you know what happens. Now name will not be taken. It is now once I double click, yes, he's a doctor. I can understand his limit is not very big amount. If you look, and let us look into the irregularity. So 14 lakhs, it's total put together 25 lakhs, and within 90 days of irregularity. Very good. So if you observe, it's more of 30 first March. It's okay. In the everything is in the last 1 month. Okay, I think I need not to put a lot of effort looking into this, but you need to put effort looking into the documentation because there is a house loan, there is a vehicle loan, there's actually a vehicle loan. Vehicle loans, and these two are the term loans, maybe for the profession they have given. This is the way we look into the stratification. So that's the reason this is most important. Now I'll simply keep what type of loans they have and so on, right? Now let's look into the other stratification. This is one type of stratification. Stratification one, customer, let me put like this, customer versus account number. So this gives a lot of analysis for us. We'll take one more sample just for the understanding. Let me double click this because two are there. One is education loan is there, the other one is house loan is there for the same person. Now this is 12.5, 12.95, okay. And if you look into the outstanding EMI due almost paid and irregularity date, I think this almost paid, even the installment is very small, it's not very risky account and so on. Okay, this apparently I'm saying, okay, we don't look into that much light of vein, but if you are really into the bank audit based on the account, we have to be little meticulous, but I'm just trying to tell you in what angle you have to look into these things. Now, friends, what I'll do, I'll go into the other stratification. Now, let me remove out of this pivot table the customer, keep the customer number. Now, keep the account number. Now, what I'll do, I'll take I'll put the balance here. What I'll do, I'll just take outstanding balance here. Now, I'll take outstanding balance one more. I'll take one more outstanding balance and one more. You may be thinking there's no sense of keeping four sum functions one after other. Don't worry, we'll do the analysis on top of this. Now let me remove this yellow color, right? So let me give, this is the sum of outstanding. This is, I want sum how much percentage. So what I need to do for this, let me right click and let me show values as percentage of the grand total, so that I'll get to know how account wise, customer wise, how much exposure anyone is having. Now let me take a count. This is the count percentage. Now let me change the fields like that. Right click and show values as, sorry, summarize values by count. This one, oops, okay, yeah, this is almost like this, so there is no meaning of this column will remove, because it's more of this account number is same, right? So let's go here, percentage of the grand total, and let me put here count. Okay, this is the count percentage, this is the sum percentage, but I'm not much interested in looking into the customer number wise. Let me remove this customer number, let me even remove this account number. What I'm more interested is, I am interested on the loan type wise, so that this gives me the portfolio of, now let me put count, and this one is count percentage. This, in a nutshell, okay, at the higher level, I'll get to know the portfolio of the balances. I can easily say that in this branch, more house loans are there, and in this branch, so many other loans are there, and so on. Okay, so the term loans percentage is very less, since we are not given a higher level loan type accurately, so it's not seriously correct. But when you real time, when you give a correct loan types, then 100% you'll get it. Even gold loans is occupying 30%, but almost 100 accounts are gold loans. Okay, so this is the way we look into the stratification. And also now we'll do one more stratification. Now this is a stratification one, based on loan type, right? Now let me copy this and paste here. This is stratification 2. Let me look into the account size wise. Account size. What is the meaning of it? I'll just copy the same data. Now let me just paste here. I will remove loan type. Just keep the cursor here. I'll remove the loan type. I'll just keep the outstanding balance here. But since it's outstanding balance, it will not give you any meaning, because each unique values it appear one below other. What I'll do, I'll right click, I'll group this. It is saying that out of all the accounts, 42 is the lowest outstanding balance, and 1 crore 23 lakh 13,135.25 is the higher outstanding balance. Since it's 1 crore, so outstanding balance. So since it's 1 crore is the higher limit, let me keep 10 lakh as a step value. So it has given me a range wise. If you observe, this has given me a range wise. If you look here, if I look into maybe this much, how many accounts these all are? These accounts are 21. If I look into 21 accounts, I'm almost doing the audit of 25%. Okay, maybe let me take 7,50,000, right click and group. Let me take the step value as 7,50,000. Sorry, earlier I have taken 10 lakh, right? Yeah, 7,50,000. If you do the audit of this, of 33 accounts, and it's almost contributing to 30% of the sample, right? 30% of my entire loan portfolio. So I'll 100% ask my staff to look into the documentation as well as other things out of this. And also there is no meaning of keeping NPA accounts here. You can even remove the NPA accounts, then your loan portfolio will be very smaller. Out of that, you can look into that. Okay, as simple as it. Even this is the way. Now let me look into one more stratification. Now control C, control V. This is for the LFAR related. What LFAR documentation comments are much more required. 100% in cases where out of the entire outstanding, 5% are 2 crore, whichever is less. So how do you know that how many accounts are more than 5% of your total advances? It's very simple. You can simply go here. Now let me go to my main data. Let's put the total outstanding sum of this. Now you can simply put a percentage, that is this into 5%. That means it is 1.4 crore, right? In this case, it's not 2 crore, because 2 crore or 5%, whichever is less. So I'm going to filter out of this entire thing. Okay, 1.48. I'll put one more remark. LFR comment. LFR scope. Okay, it's a mandatorily comment. So now if I go here, if I look into a data which is greater than 1 crore 48 lakh, so let's go to here, greater than 1 crore 48 lakhs, 1 crore 48 1 more 0, right? Oops, 1 second. So am I not finding any account greater than or equal to 1 crore 48 lakhs? See, 1 crore 23 itself is the last one. It's a very small branch. Uh, Individually, accounts are more individually the with respect to the account size of individual is small. That means the average is very small, but it's okay. Still, you need to look into the other documentation angle. Now I'll go here. Now this is one way of the stratification. So this is you can even keep maybe sanction date. So let's have a look into the sanction date. Let me have a grouping of this. Now what I'll do, this is the sanctioned EMI is due. I'm sorry. I should take the sanction date. So let's look into the sanction date, right? Now let me ungroup this. So let me ungroup. Now let me group this, right click and just group. Now I want to know year wise and quarter wise, or else year wise as well as months wise, right? Now let me keep the year somewhere here. Okay. So or else keep the year and maybe the quarter here. So since I've taken month, is it? So instead of month, it's okay. So this will give you at least a glance. Let me remove the date month for the time being. This is just giving you a glance how the branch is growing. Okay, how aggressive the branch, in which year and how much loans they dispersed and so on. So this is one way of the stratification. Maybe we can look into a particular situation. For example, 12, 13 accounts. Some of the accounts are still continuing since the percentage out of all entire loans, the percentage is this is 23%, and this is very aggressive. In 2017 almost 24% of the loans they sanctioned. Just check it out. Maybe in this year whether the branch manager is just appointed or whoever the position AGM or anyone, because whenever they came into any branch they are little aggressive and they try to take so many loans. They try to disperse so many loans within their limit. That means documentation is most important. Out of 747 in 1 year, 228 loans they dispersed. So out of even the loans which I need to do the audit, which must be part of my sample, I will take more which dispersed in 2017. Friends, it is just part of the game. If we start looking into the file, it will even take hours of time. So I'm just stopping here with respect to stratification part, because like this you can start working on and you will get to know how exactly we're going to do. But here one important aspect I would like to cover is nothing but the arrear condition. Now what I'll do, I'll just take one more stratification. This arrear condition you'll only find in case of the SBI. So what I'll do, this is stratification 3, year wise, year sanction, accounts versus year. Okay. Now let's look into the stratification 4 is basically arrear condition. Harriet, the same wording may not be there in other branches, but you may be having a different type of codes. Okay, basically in the SBI, there is a concept of the arrear condition. Before going and understanding this part, let me try to explain you what is the arrear condition. Instead of myself explaining it to you, I'll open one small document. In fact, this is talking about the NPA and recalled assets in the bank's 24 system. So I'll just give a glance of this document. NPA and recalled asset, classification of assets in banks 24. Assets in banks 24 has been classified into 9 categories, which are called as risk grades as per the details below. 00 is a standard, 7 days to 30 days is 1, 30 days to 60 days is 2, and 60 to 90 days is 3, substandard asset is 4, doubtful less than 1 year, 1 into 3 years, greater than 3 years, loss asset. This is as per the IRAC, but this is not matching to our SMA, because if you look into the special mentioned accounts as per the master circular of RBI, it is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2. 0 means 0 to 30 days, 1 means 30 to 60 days, 3 means 60 to 90 days. If it is slipping out of 3, 2, then it becomes NPA. 0, 1, 2 is there in case of the term loans and other loans, but not in the OD and CC facilities. In case of OD and CC, as per IROC, it is there is no 0. It's from 30 to 60, 60 to 90, then NPA. So now this is the way in this CBS they define for their control purpose. Now let me go a little further. This is what I'm talking about, the arrear condition in this case. If you look here, this is the column which I'm trying to explain you. So, what is the arrear condition? Various conditions that make a loan account slip from status of standard asset are tracked in banks 24. These are called as the arrear conditions. In other words, all the NPA business rules are defined in the system at every risk grade of OC, CC, OD, DL, demand loans, or term loans, and so on. I'll not go much deeper. Let us directly go into the list of arrear conditions. As per the system, it is 501 means it is overdue 7 to 29 days. 504 means it slips from IRAC condition from 1 to 2. So 504 means 30 days, less than 30 days. Then 505 means 2 EMI greater than 30 days over. Then 506 is basically 3 EMIs. It is 30 days and over. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. It goes and slip into the 4. Looking into this indirect way, this is 30 to 60 and this is 60 to 90. This is for DLRTL. If you look into the CCR OD accounts, interest not served within 7 days to 30 days, it's 0. 601, it is IRAC status is 0. 30 to 60 days is 1. 60 to 90 days is 2. And above 90 days is 3. This is IRAC conditions 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now let me go a little further. Even the stock statement, friends, you must understand these all codes will appear in the system based on the input provided by the branch manager. Especially in the case of stock statement, you need to give the stock statement. If the stock statement is 97 days old, then it will be 611, because if he gives the stock statement as on today, he has to provide the stock statement within 90 days. So from that day, we need to calculate another 90 days for the NPA purpose. So from today, if it is 97 days and greater than, then it is 611. If it is greater than 120, 612, 150, 613, 180, 614. Indirectly 614 and 604 and 504 must become an NPA as per the system. That's the meaning of it. So that's the reason it is a new IRAC condition which is 4. Now let me go. They have defined so many controls. I'm going to share this PDF file with you along with the working files. Let me go a little down. Now let us try to look into the NPA processing in banks 24. Each and every loan account is processed by the system during end of day process for deciding the NPA status. The arrear condition and the arrear action explained earlier are used by the system in determining the risk grade of the account. The risk grade thus decided by the system is shown as the new IRAC status. Every loan account in banks 24 has two risk grades as detailed below. New IRAC status, old IRAC status. Just because the name of the IRAC status is new, it doesn't mean this is more important than this. After my explanation reading this, you'll get to know what is more important. This is an indicative status of a loan account as prescribed by the system. It is generated by the system based on the arrear conditions. That means new IRAC status will appear in the CPS based on the arrear condition at the back end. Arrear condition is because of the key by the user may be related to stock statements and so on. So if the arrear condition itself is wrong, this is wrong. If this is wrong, this will be wrong. Check it out. NPA processes such as stopping of interest application, reversal of unrealized interest, etc. will not happen based on the risk grade shown under the new IRAC status. This requires a confirmation from the operating staff. The confirmed status happens both by manual intervention and the NPA stamping process done on 10th, 20th, and on the last day of the month. This is the meaning. That means new IRAC status you cannot treat as a real IRAC status as per the CBS. Old IRAC status means which is correct. This is the actual IRAC status of the loan account. The new IRAC status is confirmed by the system at the time of NPA stamping by the user or at any time during the year. Means based on the earlier condition, new IRAC status will appear in the system once the operating staff, as the case may be branch manager or whoever looking into the loans, they need to put a control in the system, then that will jump from the old IRAC to the new IRAC. Every time when we go for a bank account, when it comes to the NPA, branch managers tell us so many stories stating that everything will happen in the system, may be correct. When if the input is correct, if input itself is not correct, there is no meaning of generating all these things. It is simple garbage in, garbage out, as simple as it. The confirmed status is reflected under the column old IRAC status. Therefore, for all practical purposes of finding the NPA status of an account, the user has to refer to this field. The system starts the NPA processes such as non-application of the interest and segregation of unrealized interest automatically once it slip into the old IRAC status. Now you will get to know how important these three columns are. This itself will give you as per the system what is happening. Now what I'll be doing, I'll do one more stratification. This is the earlier condition. Now I just remove this. I'll just take earlier condition. Where is the earlier condition? Yeah. Oops, I've taken currency. I'm sorry. Let me take earlier condition. See, 0, that means either, that means it has not generated. The earlier condition has not generated. Why? Maybe they did not give any input for this. Okay, this is the red flag. We should take and we should ask the question why there is no earlier condition. Now you just put a column besides this, and from this document you get what is the meaning of these earlier conditions. Then you start asking the question and looking into those accounts. Say 803, what is the meaning of 803? Let's have a look. Doubtful greater than 2 years. Oh, so 8, this entirely is actually uh, NPA. Is it? No. This is entirely NPA. Security erosion, 712, is there anything? Yes. See, only in one account, since security erosion is there, they might have treated everything as a loan loss account. So 80 is entirely series of the doubtful, and this is more than 2 years. And what is the meaning of 704? Irregularity greater than 4. I'm sure this will be into the NPA. Now let's go to the 703. 703 is greater than 60 days, more risky. Okay, this may be the probable NPA if you look into the other things and do the account statement analysis and so on. Just try to look into this. Okay, so you'll get many things. Look here, there are 34 accounts, which is 10%. 505, what is the meaning of it? 505. The meaning is greater than 30 to 60 days. 2 EMIs are due. This is the one we need to look. Okay, and so on. See, I'm just trying to explain you how to get the samples and what accounts you should concentrate more and so on. I'm not explaining you how to do the audit. Maybe whoever watching this video may be much senior to me. In fact, I am learning every day and I need to learn many things. So looking into the documentation part and so on, since I'm not going into that deeper, so you know how to make it. But my point of taking this entire file and explaining it to you is how our methodology must be. Friends, let me tell you very clearly, if you are good enough with Excel, stratification, sampling, within 1 hour to 2 hours, I'll get the control of the entire branch, what this branch is, and how many customers are the risky customers, how many customers are the genuine customers, and how the entire thing out of the branch. Within 1 hour is sufficient, even be it 2000 accounts or 3000 accounts, my Excel will tell us. Even next 2 to 3 days of the audit, which accounts I should concentrate, my Excel will tell. Okay, that's important this is. So this is the stratification. Okay, let's go here. Let me delete this. This sheet is not required. Okay. So this can be even used as a stratification. You just put the highlight. So out you can start giving a stratification numbers. You can ask your maybe the uh, staff which stratification they should look into and so on. So that you can even write the names. When I look into the documentation, then I'll explain how it works and so on. So I think more or less I have covered out of this. So look into the irregularity date, look into the EMI installment. I know you are good in calculating the EMIs and so on. I'm not just going into that. Okay, let me save this file. Okay, so this is loan balance file. I think this itself I have taken almost 1 hour time. You must excuse me. So let me save this file on the desktop. Session working files. This is loan balance file analysis, stratification and analysis. Let me close this. Let's go into the another important aspect of session. Let me close even this loan balance file. Sorry. Now let me look into the loan account analysis. Yeah. So this I have taken. Okay. This I already explained there. This I have taken, friends. How to look into the out of order days. Friends, it's very important for us to convert anything into the, especially whatever the Excel files which we get are the account statement, either the ledger accounts or bank statements. We call these all are the account statements. The problem with the account statements is it may have account statements may have more than one transaction on the same day, and also may have zero transactions on few days. So when the data is like this, that means every day when the transaction is not there and some of the days are repeating, I cannot do the 100% of analysis on the data. I need to write bigger formulas. So what I'm going to do, my first job of looking into this is converting this data into the calendar format. So calendar format means calendar statement. Calendar statement. Don't look into the spelling. I'm very poor. Calendar statement means every day there must be a transaction, or else this is a day wise summary. Start from the first day of the year till the last day of the year. So I'm going to convert this data into that format. What I'm going to do very quickly, okay, what I'm going to do, don't look into the date, okay, or else let me change this date. I should have done before the session, I'm sorry. So don't look into this formula, it's not required for you. This is just for my understanding. So I'm trying to look into this, then let me have the month of this, let me have day of this. I'm just trying to convert this into the recent data because in this case I can easily do that. So that's it. This is what the account statement belongs to the 1920. Now what I'm going to do, I'll put one column. Everyone please follow. I'm going to cover one important feature called consolidation. Consolidate feature in Excel help us a lot. So let me take, so as I said, it's 1920. July 19th is the first date, first transaction. That means the loan sanctioned in the same year. So let me take 9/7/2019. Now this plus 1, copy this, and now let me go down, enter. I've taken almost nearby 31st March 2020. What is the meaning of taking this entire thing? You'll get to know now. I'll keep the cursor here. I'll go to the consolidation feature. How to get the consolidation feature? Go to the data. Are you finding here the small icon? This is the consolidate. Let me click this. Now, in the consolidation, I'm going to do the sum. So this is the reference. Let me take the first table. I have not taken the closing balance because there is no meaning of taking the closing balance because on the same day more than one transaction may be there. Let me add this data. Try to understand including the headings I have taken. Now take this data, only one column, having the date, add this data into the memory of Excel, add. Let me tell you what Excel is doing exactly here. It is looking into the two data sets and it is taking the left column of both the data sets. Out of the left column, it takes the unique values, and also it is looking into the top row. Out of the top row, it takes the unique values, and finally it's going to apply the sum function. So let me click top row, left column. These two you have to click it so that Excel understand that left column is a label and top row is also a label. Let me click OK. Don't worry, this is converted into the general format. Let me make it into the short date format. This is my debit, this is my credit. This can be even done by using a sum if function, but I feel consolidation is very simple for me. So that's the reason I've taken this. Now, closing balance. Have I need to put a lot of effort keeping the closing balance here? No, very simple. Closing balance may come based on the formula. I can simply answer. I can simply go equal to this minus this, above data plus this minus this. Copy and paste. It has given me the closing balance. If anyone having any question, please let me know. This is I'm talking about calendar statement. Okay, this is the calendar statement. Excuse me if the calendar spelling is wrong. I'm very poor in spelling. So this is the account statement. Okay, this is, let me click this, account statement, right? So finally, the advantage of this is because every day more than one transaction, every day one transaction is there. Wherever transactions are not there, that's fine. Now what I'll do, I'll just try to check it out. Let's say in this case, my loan sanctioned is loan sanction, or as this we call it as a limit. Sanction limit is 4.5 crore, 4 crore 50 lakh, right? So I'll put a small function if cross check whether this is greater than or equal to, let's put greater than this. If it is greater, then I'll make it as exceed. If not, within the limit. It's a very simple if function you can understand. If my closing balance is greater than the sanction limit, within the limit, if not, exceeded. So let me just, oops, this is 45 lakhs, is it? So I always confuse with this. So let me put the comma format. Oh, okay. Since I've taken N1, let me give the dollar symbol for this, F4, enter, copy and paste. Okay. Now this 4.5 crore and I compared and I got this. Now friends, I need to know the out of order. It's very simple. If this is equal to EXT, that means it's exceeded. That means above cell plus 1. Try to understand. If it is not exceeded, that means it is within the limit. I don't want to have a sequence of the numbers. I just need to have 0. That's all. Try to understand this formula. Very simple formula. If my limit, if the left column is the limit, then simply I want 0 because if it is within the limit, I don't want to count how many days continuously it got exceeded. If it is not limit, then above cell plus 1. In the entire scenario, I may have three situations: previous day limit, current day limit. So since previous day is the limit, my answer is 0. Current day is the limit, my answer is 0. One more situation: previous day exceeded, current day within the limit. Since previous day exceeded, some number will come. Current day is the limit, limit is 0, so you will get a 0. Third situation: previous day exceeded, first time it got exceeded, current day is also exceeded. So previous day, since first day it got exceeded, above cell of that is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. For the current day, previous day is exceeded, so that is already 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. You will get the sequence. Let me enter and copy and paste. Now let me put the out of order all those. This is within the limit or not. I'll just put a filter. This is within the limit or not, or exceed. Now I'll put the out of order. Don't look into the this one. Go to the end. I'm more interested on these. See, it got exceeded continuously 86 days. Then it became suddenly within the limit. So again, within 1 day it got out of order. Look into these numbers. It continuously out of order for 86 days, and suddenly some 2 crore amount uh, they deposited, so credit happened, and again within next day 1.2 crore they have taken back. So again out of order continuously, so it is within the order after some time. So you just look into this and so on. Friends, in majority of the cases, I told you in the one first stratification, where customer is enjoying more than one facility from the branch. Let's say one is CC, the other one is TL. Then immediate red flag for me must be from where this 2 crore 22 appeared. Is it from the other facility enjoying by him, or it may be the other facility in the other bank also? But how do you know whether he's having other facility in the other branch? You simply take his financial statements, look into the liabilities. If some ODRCC is there, I'm sure that it belongs to this branch. Other than that, just check it out. Is there any other term loans he is having? Some of the bank descriptions is even giving us from which bank it got transferred. So you can easily understand looking into these things. So it's very simple. Some of the cases when we ask the branch manager, you give the loan account for us, he'll simply take, he'll give a printout which is one paper. The entire account statement is one paper. It's a red flag. How can a businessman having 5 crore or 10 crore of the facility having only one page bank statement? That means he is not routing all his funds not from this branch, may from this bank or from this account. He may be routing from the different account. That's the first red flag to note down and even comment. And when a case where only we have credits, and the credits are only every time from the same place, that means we need to have an eye, what is this account and from where? Is it in the same bank or is it in the other bank? The very important aspect in the bank audit is, as you all know, the provision with respect to the NPA. If one account of a customer becomes NPA, all accounts under the same customer ID becomes NPA automatically. Of course, in the CBS, there may be a rule with respect to the same, but we need to understand whether is there any relation. Maybe it may not be belongs to his account, maybe his wife account or his sister account, or maybe some very nearby relation. So you better, if you are not identifying the person name, you just take that account, Google it. Maybe he may be a director in one of the company, maybe in the same company, the same person for which account we are doing an audit are also a director. That means there is a related party transaction. So getting an account statement and analyzing the data is the most important job. But you need to come into this level when you have a doubt about a particular account. I request you to take all the big accounts and start doing the analysis. Your bank statement will give you a customer bank statement will give you lot of observations than what we do and looking into the documentation side. This is the way we try to write the formulas for looking into the out of order and understanding this. If anyone having any question till this part, please let me know. So this is the analysis part. Let me save this file and close. Okay, this is about the account statement, how to convert into the calendar format and how to write the formulas to check it out continuously how many days are out of order. Now, let me look into the third thing, CC account analysis. This file, let me honestly give the credit from one of the online. I have taken the file, may not be the same content I'm going to present here because the data, the presenters of the Excel as a bank audit tool, there's always a challenge that preparing the data, we as the people cannot use our data where we did the audit, or even I cannot ask my friends or anyone to give the data because we are signing the confidentiality agreement with the banker. So whenever even we would like to take the demonstration, we try to remove all the columns which are very evident to identify, because the data at the end of the day, my video what you are watching now is in the YouTube. So if any banker easily identify that, okay, this is my data, and it's very simple, we will be into trouble. That's the biggest challenge for the people who are presenting the data in the online. So I'm sure everyone does the same. Even I do the same. We don't present the same data. We change all the things. We change entirely. Okay. We accept amounts. We change the dates. We change. We even change even the descriptions. We put a lot of effort preparing the data. That's the reason bank audit using Excel session will not be as a wholesome every time, because if you wanna have a life cycle of the bank audit, still we can speak. But the thing is, we should have a wholesome. If you look into earlier, I've taken a loan balance file. For the same file, I don't have another NPA, right? So just to identify and make a VLOOKUP function, because we prepare the data every time, even we take a lot of precautions, somewhere and other place we are disconnected, because preparing the data by CBS, preparing the data by human, obviously there is a lot of difference. That's a technology and application. We are human beings. We cannot prepare accurately the bank branch related data on our own. So I hope you understand. That's the reason many cases, though we would like to share a lot of content, because of the security issue with respect to the data, and because of the other things, we try to take more of generic examples than a specific example. I hope you all, I'm telling this on behalf of all the speakers who are giving excellent videos in YouTube, especially after the lockdown. A lot of people are posting videos. Every video is excellent. You do understand when a speaker is trying to take a very generic example and explaining what is the challenge backside of that, because I am part of it. Okay, so let me go into this data. In this data is a CC account. This I'm trying to look into the interest part, whether interest is been charged correctly or not, right? That is one part. The other part is, in this case, I have given a description also. First, I'll explain you the steps which I am going to follow, which I feel are simple to understand to calculate the interest in case of CC account. Then we'll try to verify with other interest what the system has been charged. So, if you look here, these are the every month spread and so on. This you can change it if you want. Let's say from here the spread is, let's say 3% it became, or maybe from year to year 2.5%. Then here it became sorry, this is 2.5%. Let me give two decimal. If you want to analyze any of the account, make sure that it's having two decimals and having what is the interest and so on. After this again became 2%. Okay, this is what I have prepared the master data, and this is what the account statement. And now let me put the filter of the INT. So these all are INT column. What you're finding, these all are the interest. So let me put INT space INT dot. See, every month, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and so on. Every month interest being charged. Let me copy this data, and let me go here, or else you can simply take. Let me take the month, since the months are exactly the same. Now I'll put your actual interest as per the bank statement. Now let's go here. Now this is the interest, control C. Let's go here. Yeah, let's go here to control V. Okay, friends, this is a month. Okay, don't look into this. It's more of a, I'm trying to make a, let's go here. Let's, this format, I'm just changing the format. I'm not doing anything. MMM. Okay, so month wise, this is the month, and this is the base rate, spread rate, actual interest as per the bank statement. How we calculate the interest? That's what I'm trying to explain here. Now, let me keep these items separately for the time being. Now, as I mentioned earlier, first let us convert this data into our calendar format. So what I'm going to do, I'll put a date column, just simple. Uh, what I'm going to do equal to the starting date. So first April 2019, this plus one. I'm sorry, this plus one, copy and paste. Is it 31st? No, another 21 days. Okay, this is what the data. Now what is the next step? I'll explain it to you. The next step is very simple. Now keep the cursor here. Let's go to the data. Let's go to consolidate. Now the reference here I would like to take from here till here, add this data into the memory of Excel. Now from here till here, add this data into memory of Excel. Now let me click top row, left column. Friends, my left column here having two items. One is the date, the other one is the description. Excel will not look into the description. Description column is nothing because it cannot apply a sum function for this. Let me delete. Now this is the date. Now let me select this data, only this data, convert this data into the date format. If you feel I went a little faster, I request you to pause the video and look into this. It is exactly the step which I did in the earlier example, right? So why I have removed the description? Because description will not have any meaning when I convert into a calendar format, because this amount may be because of so many items together. Now, closing balance. So if you look here, this is the opening balance, right? That is also part of it. Now let's take this is the opening balance. Debits are there obviously. This plus debit minus credit. Copy this and paste here. Now this is a closing balance. Friends, on everyday closing balance I have given here. But if you observe, let me go to account statement. My interest, it has charged on 30th April. Try to understand. They charged interest on the last date. For the time being, I'm just trying to, yeah, let it be, no problem. Now, for the time being, every day I have taken the transaction. This is also part of this, right? When my balance got reduced from 7.5 crores, 7.05 crores to 7.04 because of the interest. That means in my closing balance, there is an interest also. Now, what I'm going to do, let me put the interest, let me get the interest wherever it is. Now, this interest is actually belongs to the date on which, now what I'm going to do, I'm sorry, let me filter again for the, let me filter again for the int dot, let me copy this data and let me paste here, cut and paste. And now let me take the balance. This is date and actual interest. Why this is important, I'll tell you. Why this is important, I'll tell you. I'll get that interest on that day here equal to VLOOKUP function. Instead of copying and pasting for 12 months, I'm just trying to take a VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP, look for this date. Okay, within this column, get the second column value as an answer. I want to look into the exact match, 0. Why it's not available? Because this date is not there in the interest. No problem. Control C and paste. Now if you observe, wherever the interest is there, see, you got it. So on 29th closing balance, because of the interest, it got reduced. Otherwise, my interest must be, okay, this plus this, right? That's the reason I have taken this column. Now what I'll do, I'll use a simple function, if error. If this entire VLOOKUP function is an error, please get 0. That's all. Now I'll put closing balance on which interest to be charged. This minus this. Copy and paste. I hope you got the logic why I'm doing this. Why I'm doing this? Because on 6 crore 94 lakh I should charge the interest for one day. But I should not charge the interest for on 7.4. Why? Because this is also having the interest it has charged on that particular day. So what I'll be doing, I'll just calculate interest per day equal to this multiplication with, first of all, what is the interest for the month year? Let's have a look. So that's the reason I have taken a interest year. Now let me put this into the short form. I have taken the date here from the first day till 31st April. It's 14%. So I want to get the interest rate. So there's a simple function names VLOOKUP. I need to look for this value. Sorry, this value where within these four columns get me fourth column value. Here the very important part. I don't want this interest to get only whenever the date is matching. Even if the date is not matching, I want it has to take. That means it's an approximate match. Either you can put comma 1 or you can even ignore the fourth argument. Both are same. In the approximate match, you know what happens? Excel look for 4 in this data. If it is matching, fine. Now let me copy this data and paste below. Your answer is 40. Now Excel look for 2nd April. Is there 2nd April in this column? No. Since it's not there, the downside, whatever the value, it will take here. That means from this date till previous of this date is belongs to 14%. From this date till 31st May, it will, this is the value and so on. That's the way it works. Now let me copy this and paste here. Now put the percentage. Now this is what the interest rate for that particular month. Now I'll simply keep interest equal to this, multiply with this, copy and paste, right? This is what my interest is. Now I'll use a very simple pivot table on top of this entire data. Otherwise, even you can simply write a small formula also. Okay. So to get the interest, but understanding the formula at this point of time is not preferable. If you ask me, it's very simple. You can just put the pivot table. I'm sorry, friends. I think is it divided by, this must be divided by 365, right? Why? Because it must be 1 day interest. I was wrong. So let me take this as a interest charged interest calculation, right? Now go to the insert, go to pivot table. Let me just click OK. Now very simple. Take the date, take the interest, sorry, take the date. This is what interest calci. Take the interest calci and take the interest charged. Now let me right click and this also let me show it as a sum. I've taken quarters here. I'm sorry. Interest calculated. This is the one which I want. Now, friends, this is actually actual. This is calculated interest. Now, what I'll do, simply right click, ungroup. Now, I want to group, right click, group. Let me just click OK. Month wise. See, this is the month wise interest. Ideally, this is what as per my calculation, this is what as per their calculation, this is what as per my calculation, this is what as per their calculation. Now let me put the difference. Okay, let us start asking the question, friends. Whenever you're trying to put this, whenever you put get pivot table data, I have a small trick. Just go to the file, go to options, go to formulas. Now uncheck this. Let me click OK. Now this minus this is what the difference we have. Why this difference is, it's almost like, I'm sorry, it's almost like 6 lakh rupees. Why this difference is, we can simply ask the question. Now let me put this everything into the comma format, 0 decimal. I want to apply the same format, copy, paste special as a format, right? Now, as I said, this more of I have changed this data uh, later once I get this data from online. So maybe because of that and so on. See, and also these interest rate I just assumed and I have given. Let's say maybe this is only spread is 2.5%, here is 2.5%, this is also maybe 2.5%. Now you go here, just refresh this data, and entirely it's going to change. Now see, everything got changed. Now it's 5 lakh only. Maybe everything is 2%. Now let's go here and refresh the data. Now it's just 3 lakh. Now maybe it's near to matching 1.75%. I'm just assuming, okay, don't look into this because it's a cooked up data, so you always have an issue with respect to this. Okay, so this is the way we calculate the interest calculated by the system and from the banker, the interest calculated by us. I'm sure there may be a lot of difference, and we can ask the question with respect to the difference why the interest is charged excess. Generally, we are the people more concentrated on the revenue case. When they charge very less interest, then there is a point we should ask the question, and so on, right? And also, if you look into this account statement, this is a proper account statement having a description. Probably I can explain you a couple of things. This what you'll find many cases if you observe. Oops, yeah, oh, what it has done, it did the sorting, is it? Now it has done the sorting. I'm sorry, what it did. So okay, yeah, this is the correct data, no problem. Now if you look into this data, uh, this interest part is okay. Let me select interest part. Now this is okay, we got the clarity. Now let's look into the other things. I'm finding so many company names, VVS Lakshman agencies. What is this? Let's copy this and let's paste it. See, so many deposits are VVS Lakshman agencies. Maybe you can just look into, it looks like this is not a private limited company. Maybe just search for, is there any private limited company with this? If it is a proprietorship, under whose name this proprietorship? Maybe is it the same thing with the name of the customer for whom this CC account has given, or else maybe this is anywhere relating to this customer, and so on. This may be the fund diversion. Now you look into the other so many companies which I'm finding. Kshetra Enterprises. So there is a company names Kshetra. Check it out. So many credits again. Who are they? Are the customers? Are because credit means deposit. Are the customers? If they are the customers, just look into their recent stock statement, including the debtors analysis. Check it out whether this customer is there or not. Now let's look into the debit side. Maybe let's look into Saran traders. Maybe some companies having with my name, again customers. Okay, so you can start looking into all these things from where it's coming and so on. So description is the most important, through which you can do a lot of analysis. Okay, so in this last 15-20 minutes, I'm trying to explain you how to get the interest rate correctly, and how to calculate the interest as per actual calculated by the account statement, and your calculation you must be have a difference. This is what you can prepare and keep it in your documentation. This is what the reconciliation of interest. Just save this file and work for next time. So the last important part is documentation. So when it comes to the documentation, a lot of people are having so many questions. Sharon, with respect to documentation, what I need to do, how I need to maintain the documents, and so on. As many speakers mentioned, even I'm going to tell you the same. There's no standard that this is the only way you need to maintain the documentation. If you ask me, it's very simple. Whatever the documentation you need to maintain, that must be rational and that must give some comfort to you when you get a question from the regulator. As simple as it. So I've taken LFAR, all the comments. Now you take the loan balance file somewhere or CC file. Now let me take the loan balance file. Now loan balance file. Now let me just copy this and let's go here, control V, right? This is what my loan balance file, and yeah, I'm sorry. Let me copy this file. Now let's go here, paste special as a values, so that format will not change. So let me bold. Now, now this is what loan you take in the other case, maybe the CCROD, like that. Now this is what the place where I'll put for the comment part. This is what the comments are, maybe observations or remarks and observations. What I'll do, as per LFR, you need to put four important things. First of all, what is the account name? Of course, the serial number. And what is the account name? And what is the customer name? Account number, this is, I'm sorry. Account number, customer name, and what is the balance, outstanding balance, right? So this is what the first customer. Let's say our people has written some comments, because it's not just the comments. You have to link your comments to the LFR. LFR initial part is more of documentation. The latter part is uh, more of the analysis part. So when it comes to the documentation, let's say for one account is trying to take, I'll simply take the drop down of this. Let me go to data here. Let me go to the data. Let's go to the data validation. Now what I'll do, let's go to list. I'll go into the, keep the cursor in the source, go to the loan. Now let me select this account number. Click OK. Now you will get all the account numbers here. Now you just simply put VLOOKUP function from this account to the customer name. So go here, from here till here, because it's a customer name, comma 2, comma 0. VLOOKUP function is a very simple function. As of now, since because of the privacy, I just removed the customer name. So that's the way we write the formula. Let me keep the formula as it is. Now outstanding balance equal to VLOOKUP. Look for this customer, where go to the loan balance file. This is the account number, and this is what the uh, outstanding. So first column, second column, third column, fourth column, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth column. So ninth column is the outstanding. So comma 9, comma 0. Friends, why I'm keeping 0? Because I want to accurately match. That means exact matching. Why I have taken 9? Because out of my selection of B to Z, my Z column is the one which I'm trying to get the answer. So J out of B to Z is the ninth column. So I got this. Now let me just keep it into comma format. Now you take LFR code, LFR description. So let me take all the codes here. Again, go to the data validation, go to the data, go to the data validation. Now you select list. Now let's go to the LFR comment part. Now these all are the codes. Let me enter. You can select the code out of this. Let me put a simple VLOOKUP function. Look for this value, where within this column, these two columns, and get the second column value as an answer, right? Now let me just keep the comments properly. This is LFR comments, LFR. So there's a loan balance file, CCOD file, observations. Now, let's say in this particular case, after looking into, on the last day, what we do, we are trying to collate the information done by all our staff, and we started giving the comments. So let's say in this case, the comment which is matching with the LFR is more of a 3.7. And also, let me copy this and paste below. And also one more discrepancy is there. Let me copy paste, and one more comment is there with respect to 2.4. Now let me uh, put one more comment 3.9, and so on. Now let's say the second case is there. Now for the second case, simply copy this and paste here. Just select whatever the account number you want. The balance and name will come. Now just say, take the same thing, LFR and code and LFR description, copy and paste here. Now you can put this as a 2, and this is the LFR description. Now this LFR description is more of 2.3. There is a problem, and one more comment is there, 2.15, and one more comment is there for this customer, maybe 1.8, the level of inventory and book dates and credits for finding, and so on. So for this, so many observations are there. 1.18, Now for this, let me take one more, maybe 3.9. Like that you can keep. But what is the rationale for this? You cannot simply write a code, right? Besides, you can, if you want, there is a beautiful thing in Excel. You can, in Excel or Word or PowerPoint, you can just go to the insert, and let's say there is a document. These days, you need not, earlier days, whenever some document which is even required for a chartered accountant, auditor, what we ask them, we ask the branch manager, can you take a print of this? These days, our phone itself is our weapon. You just take a snap of it and save it in your desktop or wherever the folder where you are keeping a documentation. Then go to the insert. Now with respect to each comment, there is a document which they might have taken into the consideration. To conclude, just go to, one second, yeah, go to the text. Are you finding object here? Now let me take the object of maybe the PDF copy. Let's go here. Let me select the PDF copy. That's nothing but my maybe a evidence for this particular comment. Now let me click that, and I want to display as an icon. Now icon also you can take whatever you want. Okay, for the PDF it has given a by default icon. Let me just click OK. Now this entire document got embedded here. Now I can just fit into single cell. Now let me even save this file, close. Now close this file. Now even close this file. Even after 1 year or 2 years, even send this file to anyone. Let them open this file. Once I open this file, even after 4 years, when I'm trying to look into this document, just double click this document. Okay, this PDF will get open. See, it has opened already. So for everything, if it is an image, even you can keep it. If it is a PDF, you can keep it. Anything, but have a documentation for everything what you are getting. Maybe it's more good if I keep proof or document, or else you can put evidence, right? Just keep this. If you have more evidences, no problem. Just keep it here. Besides, take one more. Let's go to insert. Let's go to text. Let's go to object. This time it may be an image. Now let's go to browse. Now I'll just take you into my Excelism classes. So I'll just go back. I'll just look into the data types. Yeah, there's an image, and I wanna display as an icon. But this time I don't like this icon. You can take any of these icons, maybe as a document which can identify as a document or image. You can take like this, so we can understand that it's an image. So it's giving a lot of scrap because it's more of a link to my document. It's okay. Now you just keep here. Now if I open this, image will get open even after 1 year, even after 2 years. Don't worry. Okay, there's a image which is, it takes little time. Yeah, this is the image. Okay, so this is the way we can even maintain the documentation. Now you tell me, after maintaining this much of documentation with proper evidence, after 5 years or 3 years or 4 years, if you get a call from the RBI or the regulator for any inquiry or for any questions, I don't scare because I did my 100% effort to do the audit. Even I can tell to the regulator that this is what the methodology I followed to do my audit. So it's more of evidence sake. It's more of the regulator has to understand and get a conclusion that okay, Sharon kept 100% effort to make sure that the audit go well. So if they understood that small point, they can leave you. Even you do 100% of audit very meticulously, if you don't have any documentation or proof or anything, or even for the accounts, how, what basis you are taking a sample, if you don't have any methodology, then they may doubt about your work style. Okay, so in the auditing, if you don't have a working paper, that means as if we have not done the audit. As simple as it, right? Let me just save this file and close. Friends, these are all four things which I would like to cover in this session, and let me tell you, it's a ocean, the bank audit itself, but it's like throwing us in ocean and asking to swim from one corner to the other corner. That's what the bank audit, if you ask me. So it's ocean. We need to complete the entire audit within 2 to 3 days, a branch. So if all the branch put together, three branches, maybe 7 to 8 days maximum. So how can you swim if I throw you into the ocean from this corner to that corner? That's the reason we should have the shortcuts, we should have applications, we should have in between the helicopters and so on to take us from here to there. If you really want to even swim with a lot of hard work, you cannot reach to the other level by the end of the time what they have given. So these all are nothing but our parachutes. This Excel is nothing but our helicopter, which can take us safely from one side to the other side. That's what I can sell. All the very best for all our bank audits. Anytime my number is available here in the PPT, in the video also. Anytime you can reach me, wherever I can help you out, I'm 100% sure I can reply to you. This is what my WhatsApp number also. So I uh, thank the SIRC for the opportunity. In fact, on the second day, on 9th April, there was a heavy rain at my place, so I could not get the proper network as well as power cut was there. So SIRC asked me to record the video again. So with a lot of patience, I recorded this video. I'm sure who are watching this YouTube channel, you appreciate this entire work by SIRC and appreciate the great work by young and dynamic chairman DC Jain and secretary another young and my friend Mr. Abhishek. All the very best for all of you.